Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I am Braden. This is Langley Outdoors Academy, the place where we not only talk about what's going on in the gun world, but also how we're going to fix it together. And the content that I want to show you to start this week off right is something that the gun controllers simply won't tell you. Something's going down in Israel, and it's completely related to our Second Amendment here. This has everything in it. It's got politics about the Democratic Party and Biden being stuck between a rock and a hard place. It's got guns solving all the problems that are occurring in that area of a war zone. This is going to be one you guys are going to want to see because, like I said, they're not going to tell you this one. Everything will be linked in the description box below, and I can't wait to hear what you guys think in the comments. And, of course, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn the notification bell on. All right, guys, we got to jump over to Israel because this is coming out right now. We've been covering this about the relaxation of gun regulations. Check this out. Israel wants civilians to arm up. Gun permit applications are soaring. This was released this weekend, December 8th, in the Washington Post of all places. Now, look at this image, and you tell me if this is what you think it would look like. Those are young people, all slung with what the left would call assault weapons. There's a dog, there's a child, and a parent, and everyone seems to be pretty chill and actually more comfortable because those individuals are armed. Now, they're part of the security force, but they're civilians, they're off duty right now. This right here is not indicating that these guns are magically going off and nuclear weapons are popping out of the barrels every 3 seconds. The dog seems fine. This entire point is bolstering our point. Now, let's get into this because the Washington Post is throwing some interesting stuff out that like I said, Shannon Watts isn't going to be retweeting this one. Jerusalem. Since Hamas rampaged through Israeli communities on October 7th, the government here has promoted a simple message. Guns save lives. Really? Guns save lives. Isn't it interesting that when you're in a war zone or when you are threatened or when you need to defend yourself, the population accepts the idea that guns save lives. Weird. We also saw it in Ukraine. Ukraine was getting invaded by Russia. Well, let's dump some AKs on the streets and every single civilian gets one. If you can't shoot one, here's some bottles to make Molotov cocktails. When the security is threatened and the psychology becomes, wow, we're not immediately safe because the government doesn't have our best interest at heart or can't protect us like they promise they can, it's amazing how quickly self-preservation takes over. That's the entire point. Again, we're about to get here to some United States references here. Check this out. Using rhetoric redolent of gun rights activists in the United States, hard-right National Security Minister Itamar Ben-Gvir has pushed to loosen strict firearm licensing requirements and created more civilian standby teams to harden communities against a repeat of the deadly surprise attack. Well, wouldn't you know it? Hardening of communities with civilian response teams utilizing a Second Amendment by relaxing legislation and regulation on firearm usage. Any questions? You're seeing this over and over and over again. Every time that it's instituted, you see a drop in crime, a drop in violence, and a complete preservation of security. You want to go back to the Brazilian example that we cited about a year and a half ago? Violent crime fell off of a cliff when they started relaxing gun regulations. Anyway, let's keep going. You've seen this world over, and it's going to happen again. Check it out. In the right hands, a weapon can save lives. The war demonstrated this. Whenever weapons were present, disasters were smaller. A gun can save a family, and an assault rifle can save your building. A weapon can protect you, your family, your street, and your country. Let me revisit something that he just said that was so key. Again, that they're not going to tell you in the mainstream media or the leftists or in their tweet campaigns, Moms Demand Action every time for gun safety. They're not going to tell you reality. They're not going to back their points up with legislation and legality. No, they're just going to say emotional tropes that are consistently playing on your fears to get you to give something up, which is why we fight them so hard on this channel. Let me revisit something. Wherever weapons were present, disasters were smaller. A gun can save a family, and an assault rifle can save a building. Whenever guns were present, the disasters were smaller. Notice they were smaller, they weren't prevented. You can't prevent evil. What you can do is prepare for it. And that's what we're talking about right here. Whenever someone was present, a smaller or a faster response time with someone who was trained and responsible eliminates the threat. This is an international version in an actual war zone of a good guy with a gun kills a bad guy with a gun. But the left is going to tell you that doesn't exist, and that's just a lovely little myth. We just covered it on Second Legacy this morning. You're seeing our points play out over and over again. Check this out. Listen to these numbers. Under an expedited processing system, Ben-Gvir's ministry in the past 2 months has received more than 256,000 applications to carry private firearms, it said in an update this week. Last year, the ministry received 42,000. From 42,000 to 256,000, people are taking up guns in Israel to defend against threats that they can't see until it's too late. Does that sound anything like anything else that sounds familiar? Like the insane amount of violent crime that's happening in cities? Anything? The entire point is you're looking in real time through Ukraine, through Israel, through Brazil. You're seeing all of these places when they relax gun regulations and take the state out of the perfect one-size-fits-all solution, crime goes down. Benefits are distributed of safety across the entire population. This is a reality. It's about a gun control lobby that doesn't want to tell you reality because, again, it's about money from the Democrats. In fact, if you don't believe me, check this out. Here comes the Biden administration. Talk about being caught between a rock and a hard place. The uptick in settler violence has troubled the Biden administration, which is weighing whether to greenlight the $34 million sale of 24,000 U.S. rifles to the Israeli government. This is the same Biden administration that has given billions and billions and billions of dollars to the Ukrainians who are doing the exact same thing. They are handing guns out to their civilians. They are handing guns out to their national security forces. They are doing everything possible. And yet, 24,000 though to the Israelis? Hold on, well, something must be up. It couldn't be that it's a political hot-button issue for the Democrats stuck between the Muslim coalition and the Israeli coalition in the Democratic Party, which is fracturing. No, it couldn't be that. Let's continue. Israeli officials have told their U.S. counterparts that the rifles were used by the national police forces. But concerns remain that the country's hard-right government will provide the arms to civilians. According to people familiar with the matter who spoke on the condition of anonymity to discuss the sensitive conversation. Here we go. Democratic lawmakers have balked at the possibility that U.S. weapons could fall into the hands of settlers. Democrat politicians in the United States didn't seem to balk when Biden left $16 gajillion worth of guns and armaments in Afghanistan, which was then repurposed to other groups. Didn't seem to raise a problem and still pounding the war drum for Biden to give money to Ukraine to do the exact same thing against Russia. But when it comes to the Israelis arming their population to defend against an internal threat that continually pops up and uses the cover of darkness, whoa. Let's not get crazy. We don't want to proliferate arms across the world unwisely. Yeah. And that's what I've got for you guys to start the week off. Everything will be linked in the description box below, and I can't wait to hear what you guys think, and I will see you on the next one.